mysterious storm sweeps across the Heartland ranch, and with it comes a moment that changes everything. The trailer for Heartland Season 19, Episode 4, Braving the Wilderness, doesn't just tease drama, it hints at a turning point that could redefine the future of every character we love. From Amy's haunting look in the final frame to a chilling radio call lost in static, the trailer leaves fans with one question burning in their minds. Who will make it back home? And who will be lost to the wild? The trailer opens with a sense of unease that's hard to ignore. The camera pans over the endless wilderness, trees swaying under heavy clouds, the wind howling like a warning. Amy's voice echoes faintly, filled with concern and courage, as she calls out for someone unseen. It's clear that this episode isn't about simple challenges, it's about survival, both emotional and physical. Braving the Wilderness sets the tone for an episode where nature, fate, and the human spirit collide in ways no one could predict. As glimpses from the trailer unfold, we see Amy preparing her horse early in the morning, determination etched across her face. She's joined by Ashley, whose return to Heartland continues to stir curiosity among fans. The two women share a silent but powerful moment before setting off. Their expressions tell us more than words ever could. Something serious has happened, and they're ready to face it head-on. Then comes the shocking reveal, a brief flash of smoke rising above the forest line, followed by a distress signal crackling through the radio. A plane has gone down in the dense woods surrounding Hudson. It's not just any random event. The urgency in Amy's eyes suggests that someone they know might be involved. The trailer doesn't confirm who's on that plane, but one thing is certain, this mission will test their courage like never before. Meanwhile, back at the ranch, tension grows as Jack and Lisa organize a gathering to keep the community calm. The ranch, usually a place of warmth and laughter, feels heavier this time, almost as if everyone senses that something terrible is unfolding out there in the wilderness. Tim, always the man of action, tries to mask his fear with practical decisions, while Katie and Lindy watch from the barn, their innocence contrasting the storm that brews around them. One of the most emotional moments from the trailer comes when Caleb's voice breaks through the radio, weak and shaky. He's stranded, injured, and trying to guide Amy toward his location, but the connection cuts off before he can reveal where he is. The silence that follows is deafening, a reminder that in the wild, even hope can vanish in an instant. What stands out about this episode is how it blends suspense with raw emotion. Every character is walking a fine line between bravery and fear, between hope and heartbreak. Amy, especially, seems to carry the emotional weight of the story. There's a moment where she stops in the middle of the forest, looking around as if feeling the presence of something, or someone, familiar. Fans have started speculating that this might be a subtle nod to Ty's enduring spirit, guiding her in times of danger. As the trailer closes its first half, we see the storm intensify. Thunder rolls, trees bend, and the wilderness seems almost alive, pushing back against those who dare to enter. Amy and Ashley continue deeper into the unknown, their path illuminated only by flashes of lightning. The screen fades to black with the faint echo of Amy's voice calling out, "Hold on, we're coming." That final line hits like a promise, not just to the characters in danger, but to the audience. Braving the Wilderness isn't just another episode. It's a story of resilience, loyalty, and the power of never giving up, no matter how dark the path becomes. The stage is set, and every clue from the trailer points toward one of Heartland's most gripping and emotional adventures yet. The tension builds as the trailer moves into its second act, and the tone shifts from concern to pure survival. The wilderness isn't just a backdrop anymore, it becomes a living force that mirrors the emotional chaos within every character. We see Amy and Ashley navigating through rough terrain, mud splattering their boots, the rain turning into a downpour that blurs the world around them. There's exhaustion on their faces, but beneath it lies something stronger: determination. The bond they share in this moment is unlike anything Heartland fans have seen before. Once rivals, now allies, united by one mission, bringing everyone home safely. Meanwhile, the trailer cuts to Caleb and Nathan, stranded in the wreckage of the downed plane. The scene flickers with cold blue tones, the kind that make you feel the bite of the wind even through the screen. Caleb is injured, his arm wrapped in makeshift bandages, while Nathan paces in frustration, his face pale and eyes filled with guilt. Their dialogue, though brief and broken, reveals the raw tension between them. Nathan blames himself for the crash, while Caleb, ever the loyal friend, tries to calm him down. But it's clear that old grudges are resurfacing. Their survival depends on teamwork, yet trust feels like a luxury they can't afford. One of the most haunting moments comes when the trailer shows a flashback, Caleb remembering a promise he made to Amy before boarding the plane. The memory of her telling him to come back safe echoes faintly as thunder rolls. It's a quiet yet powerful reminder that even miles apart, the emotional ties between the Heartland family remain unbroken. Fans can sense that this episode isn't just about finding survivors, it's about rediscovering faith, forgiveness, and what truly matters when life hangs by a thread. Back at the ranch, Jack becomes the emotional anchor once again. The trailer shows him lighting a lantern near the barn, his face lined with worry but filled with resolve. Lisa joins him, her hand resting on his shoulder as they look toward the storm. Their quiet strength offers a sense of calm amid the chaos, a symbol of the home everyone is fighting to return to. In the background, we hear faint music, soft, melancholic, yet full of hope. It feels like a promise that no matter how dark the night gets, light will always find its way back to Heartland. The community, too, plays a vital role. People gather at the ranch, forming a search team, offering food and sharing prayers for those missing. The sense of unity feels deeply personal this time. More than just a group of neighbors, they're a family built by love and shared struggles. Even Lindy, though too young to understand the full situation, senses something's wrong. She's shown holding one of Amy's scarves, whispering softly, "Mom will find them." It's a moment that captures the spirit of Heartland, innocent hope in the face of fear. The suspense heightens when the trailer reveals Amy and Ashley stumbling upon a piece of wreckage deep in the forest. It's part of the plane's wing, torn and scorched. The camera zooms in on Amy's trembling hands as she touches it, her voice breaking as she says, "They were here." The realization hits like a storm. Every second counts. The urgency in her eyes tells us that this rescue mission has turned into something far more personal. The final moments of this section are pure cinematic brilliance. As the wind roars and night begins to fall, Amy and Ashley find a clue, a trail of footprints leading deeper into the forest. But before they can follow, the distant sound of a wolf's howl echoes through the air. The look they exchange says everything. Fear, resolve, and the silent question of whether they're walking toward a rescue or another danger waiting to strike. The screen fades to black with a single line of dialogue that lingers long after. It's gone. Sometimes the wilderness isn't what you fight, it's what teaches you who you are. This hauntingly poetic message perfectly captures what braving the wilderness stands for. It's not just about surviving the storm, it's about discovering the strength that comes from facing it together. As Braving the Wilderness unfolds, the trailer takes a darker, more emotional turn. The forest grows colder, shadows stretch longer, and every sound seems to carry a warning. The bond between Amy and Ashley is tested to its limits as they push deeper into the unknown. Exhaustion and fear start to set in, but Amy's determination burns brighter than ever. Her face, covered in dirt and rain, shows not weakness but fierce resolve. She knows that giving up isn't an option. Every heartbeat, every step through the mud, is driven by one thought. Someone out there needs her, and she won't stop until she finds them. Then, the trailer delivers one of its most chilling moments. Amy and Ashley come across a torn piece of fabric caught on a branch, a clue that the survivors may be close. The wind howls as Amy examines it, her voice trembling. It's Caleb's jacket. For a split second, her world stops. All the emotions she's been holding back, fear, guilt, love, rush to the surface. The music intensifies, and fans can almost feel her heart racing as she realizes that the man she once called family might be lying injured somewhere in the storm's path. Ashley gently reminds her to stay focused, but even she can't hide the worry in her eyes. Meanwhile, the scene shifts back to Caleb and Nathan. They're growing weaker by the hour, their supplies nearly gone. Nathan, shivering beside a small fire, admits his mistake. He ignored flight warnings because he wanted to prove himself. It's a heartbreaking confession that strips away his pride, leaving only regret. Caleb, though in pain, tells him, "Proving yourself doesn't mean risking lives. It means protecting them." That line hits deep, echoing the kind of wisdom that defines Heartland's storytelling. It's a moment of redemption for Nathan and a reminder of Caleb's unwavering loyalty. Even in the face of danger, The trailer then cuts to a brief but powerful glimpse of Tim at the ranch, his emotions barely contained. He's seen pacing, slamming his hand on the fence, his frustration spilling out as he feels helpless watching others in danger. But what stands out is how much he's changed. Beneath his anger is genuine love. For all his flaws, Tim has always been a fighter. And now, his battle isn't with others, but with the fear of losing those he loves. Back in the wilderness, Amy and Ashley finally discover something that stops them cold, a small trail of blood leading toward an abandoned cabin. The music fades, replaced by the sound of their breathing and the creak of the wooden door as Amy slowly pushes it open. Inside, the light flickers through cracks in the walls, illuminating signs of struggle, broken glass, a burnt jacket, and footprints in the dirt. The tension is unbearable. Amy whispers, "Someone's been here, and they didn't leave alone." This moment captures the very soul of Heartland. Danger, emotion, and humanity all intertwined. The wilderness becomes more than a physical challenge. It's a mirror reflecting each character's fears and strength. As Amy steps inside, her lantern flickers, casting ghostly shadows on the walls. She finds a note scrawled in dirt. "Heading north. Injured." Her voice breaks as she reads it aloud, tears mixing with rain. It's proof that Caleb and Nathan are alive, but running out of time. The trailer crescendos here. Lightning flashes, thunder roars, and Amy looks up as if silently pleading for strength. Ashley grips her shoulder, grounding her, reminding her she's not alone. Their partnership, born from conflict, is now a symbol of hope. Two women guided by love and courage, refusing to let fear win. The final seconds of this section leave fans breathless. A radio static cuts through the storm, and Caleb's voice returns, faint but alive. "Amy, don't come this way. It's not safe." His words fade before she can respond. The screen turns black, and only the storm remains. That one moment changes everything. What danger lies ahead? Why did Caleb warn her away? And what secret does the forest still hold? The answers promise to unfold in ways no fan expects. Braving the Wilderness isn't just another episode. It's the emotional heart of Season 19, where love, loss, and courage collide in unforgettable fashion. The storm intensifies, and with it, the emotional weight of braving the wilderness deepens. Every gust of wind seems to echo the characters' inner battles. The trailer reveals Amy and Ashley pressing forward through the darkness, guided only by Caleb's faint warning and their own instincts. They know they're walking into danger, but turning back isn't an option. The fear in Amy's eyes is matched only by her determination. She's not just searching for Caleb, she's fighting to protect the family Heartland has built. Piece by piece over the years, the next shot cuts sharply to Caleb and Nathan, trapped in the remnants of the crashed plane. The fire they had built has died out, leaving them in near total darkness. Their breaths are heavy, their movements slow. Nathan clutches his shoulder, wincing in pain, while Caleb tries to keep him awake by talking. Anything to drown out the sound of the storm outside. It's here that their dynamic shifts. Nathan, once prideful and distant, begins to break down, admitting that he's terrified. Caleb, though injured himself, becomes the steady force holding them both together. The dialogue is raw, stripped of all pretense as Caleb murmurs, "Courage isn't the absence of fear, it's what you do with it." Back at the ranch, the tension among those waiting grows unbearable. The trailer shows Tim trying to contact Amy through the radio, his voice cracking as he says her name over and over. But all he hears in return is static. Lisa and Jack are seen preparing supplies, their faces calm, but their hearts clearly heavy. Even though they can't go after them, they keep the faith alive in their own way, through action, patience, and love. Jack's quiet prayer at the barn door might be one of the most touching moments of the episode. "Guide them home," he whispers, his voice trembling. That single line captures everything Heartland stands for, the belief that even when things seem impossible, hope is still worth holding on to. The trailer then cuts back to the wilderness, where Amy and Ashley stumble upon the wreckage site at last. The scene is shrouded in mist, the air thick with tension. The plane's broken frame lies half buried under fallen branches and snow, the silence around it almost sacred. Amy's hands shake as she calls out Caleb's name. No response. They search frantically, moving debris, checking for signs of life. Then Ashley gasps she's found something. A boot print, half covered in mud, leading away from the wreck. Relief floods Amy's face, quickly replaced by fear. If they walked away, where did they go? And who or what was chasing them? As thunder rumbles, Amy spots something glinting near a fallen tree. She kneels, brushing away the dirt to reveal Caleb's bracelet, the same one he's worn since season 4. The sight of it hits her like a wave. Her composure cracks for the first time, and she whispers, "We're close." It's both a promise and a prayer. The camera lingers on her face, tired, wet, and determined, before the scene fades to the next heart-stopping moment. The trailer then takes a dramatic turn. Amy and Ashley reach a clearing where the storm's fury seems to gather. The wind howls, trees groan, and in the distance, a shadow moves. It's too quick to identify, but the way Amy's eyes widen tells us it's something, or someone, unexpected. The tension is unbearable. The screen flickers, and we hear a faint voice shouting Amy's name through the storm. It's Caleb, but before she can respond, a tree crashes nearby, cutting off the sound. The screen plunges into chaos, then fades to black. Back at the ranch, the scene slows down again. Jack sits with Lindy, showing her an old photograph of Amy and Ty. He tells her stories about how bravery runs in their family, how her mother once faced storms far worse than this one, and always found her way home. It's a touching parallel that connects past and present, reminding fans that even in their absence, those who shaped Heartland's legacy are still part of its heartbeat. The section closes with a haunting visual. Amy standing alone at the edge of a cliff, looking down at the vast forest below. The lightning illuminates her face as she whispers, "I'm not losing anyone again." It's a vow that carries all the pain of her past and all the courage of her present. The storm, the fear, the wilderness, they're not her enemies. They're the test she must pass to bring her family back. And just as the screen fades, we hear a final radio whisper, barely audible, but enough to send chills down the spine. "Amy, hurry." The final act of braving the wilderness takes everything we've seen so far and pushes it to an emotional peak. The trailer's last moments unfold like the calm before a storm's final roar, a mix of heartbreak, courage, and revelation. As the rain slows and dawn begins to break, Amy and Ashley emerge from the forest, their clothes torn, their faces streaked with dirt and determination. The light filters through the trees like a sign of hope, yet the danger isn't over. Amy still clutches Caleb's bracelet, her grip tight, as though it's the only thing keeping her from falling apart. Every heartbeat feels like a countdown, every shadow another reminder that time is running out. The scene shifts to Caleb and Nathan, whose situation grows increasingly desperate. The faint warmth of their dying fire barely touches their faces. Nathan, pale and trembling, urges Caleb to leave him behind, but Caleb refuses. His voice, though weak, carries a fierce conviction. "We walk out of here together, or not at all." It's a line that perfectly captures the spirit of Heartland, the power of loyalty, friendship, and unbreakable bonds. Even on the brink of collapse, Caleb's sense of honor stands tall. It's not just about survival anymore. It's about keeping faith with the people who've always believed in him. Amy and Ashley finally pick up the trail again, following faint footprints through the mud until they reach a ravine. The trailer shows them pausing at the edge, peering down into the fog. Then, faintly, they hear it, Caleb's voice calling out, distant but real. Amy's expression changes from despair to fierce determination. Without hesitation, she begins her descent, gripping the wet rocks as Ashley calls after her. The scene is fast, breathless, and beautifully chaotic. Lightning flashes above, and for a second, it feels as if the world itself is holding its breath. When Amy finally reaches the bottom, she finds Caleb slumped against a fallen tree, barely conscious but alive. The moment they lock eyes, everything else fades. There's relief, disbelief, and gratitude all at once. "You found us," Caleb whispers, his voice cracking. "I told you I would," Amy replies, her words trembling but full of strength. Fans who have followed these characters for years will feel this moment deep in their hearts. It's not just a rescue. It's a reunion built on years of love, loss, and perseverance. Ashley helps Nathan to his feet, and together they begin the long trek back toward the ranch. The trailer's soundtrack swells, soft piano notes blending with the steady rhythm of rain as they walk through the clearing, battered but unbroken. The wilderness that once seemed cruel now feels strangely peaceful, as if recognizing their victory. Every step is heavy with exhaustion, but also with pride. They've survived what few could, and in doing so, they've rediscovered something even greater: the meaning of family. Back at Heartland, the scene shifts to the ranch house bathed in golden morning light. Jack and Lisa stand on the porch, eyes fixed on the horizon. When they finally spot Amy, Caleb, and the others returning, the look on Jack's face says everything words can't. He runs forward, embracing Amy with a mixture of relief and love, while Lisa holds back tears. It's a homecoming that reminds everyone why Heartland has always been more than a show. It's a reflection of resilience, of finding your way home, even when the path seems lost. The trailer closes with one final image that stays with you long after it fades. Amy stands alone in the pasture at dusk, looking out toward the open fields. Her voice narrates softly over the scene. Sometimes, the wilderness doesn't break us. It shows us who we were meant to be. The camera lingers on her face as the wind moves through her hair, the sky behind her turning shades of pink and gold. It's not just an ending. It's a promise of what's still to come. The final title appears, Heartland Season 19, Episode 4, Braving the Wilderness. The screen fades to black, leaving fans with 1,000 questions. What did Amy mean by her final words? How will this experience change the Heartland family moving forward? And will the bond between Amy and Caleb grow stronger after this near tragedy? This episode promises not only the thrill of survival, but the quiet power of healing. The kind of storytelling that has kept Heartland close to fans' hearts for nearly 2 decades. Braving the wilderness isn't just about facing nature's fury. It's about finding peace after the storm, rediscovering love where fear once lived, and remembering that even in the wildest moments of life, the heart always finds its way home.